The in-state matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Ohio Bobcats came to a close last night with the Buckeyes defending home turf, moving to 3-0 with a 37-9 victory over their in-state foe. And it was a good performance from Julian Sams. Some are saying it's kind of up and down, but the dude he was 25 of 32, 347 yards, three touchdowns. He did have the two picks, and he wasn't as crisp in the red zone. So people are kind of coming at him for that. I've seen Juck and some others kind of critiquing his play. Obviously they want to see him get better. But how would you grade Sayan's performance versus Ohio?
Man, I mean, you can't get any better than what his deep balls were. Right on the money, only where the receiver can get it. Uh,
Yeah.
throws it at dude. Some people throw their deep balls on a zip, dude. He throws it with an arch, and that is
Yes.
key for it not getting picked off and being able to get it only where the receiver can get it. So
Yep.
I mean, that's a high level IQ quarterback move. Uh, but other than that, man, I mean, yeah,
Yep.
he had that interception batted at the line, and then I will say there was this one interception where he just needed to just take the sack and eat the ball, but
Yeah.
he kind of tried to force it. It was batted out of his hand. Actually, not
It,
kind of, but he batted out his hand and another takeaway interception. But other than
it's
that, man, like he just, I mean, if he's making these type of throws now, just wait until the middle end of the season. But
for
I,
sure.
I, I give his grade an A.
Yeah, he balled out, man. He performed, and like you said, there's a learning experience there, and he'll grow from that. He's going to get chewed out in film study on that one on that second INT. But like you said, on his deep balls, man, he puts that loft up there, that arch on the ball, and allows his receivers to run up underneath it. And just the placement is so perfect. And it's not just the deep balls; it's the intermediate and short balls that are just exactly where they need to be between the numbers. And he was really impressive, man. He was really impressive. Now moving to the run game.
Wait.
Oh, sure.
I just want to put a stat there because we were talking about how immaculate Will Howard's completion percentage was last
Yes,
season.
sir.
Right
Yeah.
now, Julian Saints completion percentage for the season is 78.9%.
Goodness.
So
Goodness.
let's let's see if he can give Will Howard a run for his money. I know it was only game 3, but dude,
Right.
all the things that were being said about Julian Saint in camp are becoming true. He is that dude. He can make any throw. And dude, like I've never seen a more complete deep ball quite some time, man. I mean,
It's fun to watch. He
it's
threw
kind
it up there for Tate and Smith, and they're just perfect ball placement.
you know, some of his deep balls remind me of that one throw against Clemson that Justin Fields made where it was just like
Mm.
sitting up there and
Right in the
Lovey was
basket.
right in the basket, dude. So, but yeah, want to talk more? So let's talk more about the run game.
Yeah.
Uh, so remember, I made this analysis about Bo Jackson possibly being a guy that needs to get more reps and
Hmm.
being able to be more involved in the run game because I like what I saw from him in the spring game. Seemed like a more complete back, speed, power,
Yep.
vision,
Hits the
and
holes.
what we saw in the game was just that he went he had he had 9 carries, 109
Yep.
yards, and his average was like 12.1 yards per per run. So it's
Yep.
just like he needs to be more in the lineup. I've seen enough. James People just might not be it, and that's okay, man. He got his fair shot. Bo Jackson has shown up more in the last 2 games.
Uh, yeah. Honestly, we were talking about this last week on the recap. Bo Jackson should be RB2. There's a case he should be RB1, bro. He had 11 touches for 130 yards last night overall, so it contributed in the receiving game as well. And he might have to be that dude. Donaldson is decent short yardage back, but Bo Jackson is clearly the most talented running back on the roster right now.
Yeah, and here's the positive thing about that. Bo Jackson is a freshman. If he's that dude already, that's like a solidified starter for the next 3 years, and it gives us time to catch up for the atrocities that Tony Alford committed while at Ohio State, missing out after recruit after recruit after recruit. So it gives us time to catch up, and also you have the portal just in case you need a backup running backs. But yeah, I mean that would be a great thing, and Bo Jackson could be that guy and be a solidified 3 year starter.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch him compete and contribute for the next couple seasons in the Ohio State backfield. Some good things to work on there in the run game. Overall, in the red zone, though, we had 6 trips to the red zone and only converted 2 of those trips into touchdowns. What do you think that might be a case of Brian Hartline learning how to play calls? Maybe a little more hesitancy, not to want to turn it over in the red zone. There was that instance where he kicked a field goal from the 1.5 yard line. What do you think needs to change in the red zone? Because versus a MAC team, you should be converting more of those red zone trips into touchdowns. In Big Ten, those numbers could be even worse.
So there's two ways you look at this. One, you're playing a MAC school, a respectful
Mhm.
MAC school who was the
Yeah,
defending MAC champion. And even though that's true, there could be no sense of urgency. Okay, we were able to get it. I trust my defense. We a little set up for the field goal, and then we get the ball back. We'll go back to the drawing board and how we can execute a lot better. And that's what I saw in the second half. But yeah, dude, I was getting really that could be problemsome.
yeah,
And what I think they need to do more is they need to open up more with their red zone targets. You have Carnell Tate who has quite the vertical, who can go up and get the highest point
yeah,
in the
buddy.
red zone. You just literally got Max Clare from Purdue, one
Yeah,
of the most coveted tight ends in the portal last season, and he has been really utilized in the red zone. So and
yeah,
Jeremiah Smith, who can literally body up anybody. You need
yeah,
to
for
utilize
sure.
those targets more, or you really need to get the run game going. Because I do
Yeah,
agree that when you're pretty much on the half inch, like the 1/2 inch yard line, and you're not even going to bother to roll the dice and go for it, and just like you settle for a field goal. But at the same time, it's a max school. There's no such of urgency to put up all these points. We'll regroup. We'll get together. But coming up in Big Ten play, when you travel to Washington, or you're going to Illinois, or you have Penn State at home, or you're traveling
yeah,
to play Michigan at the Big House, you really
yeah,
need to get that figured out, because the red zone is at times is where games are won and lost, and we saw that last
100%.
season with Ohio State's national championship run. So
Yeah. No, I mean it's key, man, and you could see the frustration on Day's face, and he addressed it in the post game interview as well, how it was frustrating for him, and they need to be able to convert. So I think a little bit is Brian Hartline growing into his role as the OC and finding the right mixture of plays. But the other part of it, to me, I noticed so far through 3 games this season, we're a little hesitant to pound the rock on 3rd and short and 4th and short, whereas we're passing the big Texas um, um, situation with the Claire drop. We passed it on 4th and 1, and not going for it here on the second possession versus the Bobcats. It's just a little bit telling to me, but we'll see how much this O line grows in the run game. In terms of pass protection, they still haven't allowed a sack yet, man, and that's amazing through 3 games, and so that's really cool to see. But I think there's things to improve on as we touched on in the red zone and in the run game. But I think if we give Bo Jackson more carries, more than 11 touches in a game, that's going to pay off for us. But like you said, Claire needs to be involved more as well. He finally got his first touchdown last night, so that was fun to see. Um, but yeah, hopefully Ohio State will continue rolling. We've got the bye week now to look forward to Washington. We're going to touch on the defense as well, of course. But any other things on the offense before we transition over to the defense?
you know, I don't want to hear anything, anything anymore about Carnell Tate possibly
He's
being
that dude.
a second round pick, man. Like
Yeah,
it's quite the luxury to know that he's your second option from Jeremiah Smith.
Hmm.
Like, he could start on any other team in the country. So again,
Yeah,
Ohio State doesn't have wide receiver twos. They have wide receiver ones all across the board. Now, another thing I will say, stop trying to call for Brandon Innes's job, dude. He's he's a
mm,
he's a team captain for a reason.
yeah,
He's a great blocker, by the way. He puts his body on the line. He did in the playoffs last season. And again, he's a captain for a reason. I mean, people are calling for Mylan Graham, and
a
that's the
lot of people
problem.
are.
That's the problem when you have just so much talent in one room. It's kind of, I mean, let's be honest, you Jeremiah Smith, just he shouldn't even be in this conversation. He's in his own category, in his own league.
Sure,
But
sure.
I mean, possibly Cardinal say, but dude, when you have that much talent in the room, it's really hard to, get everyone equal, like
It's
equal playing time touches, dude.
it's pretty
Target.
humorous to me that people are questioning Brian Hartline's decision to continue to put Ennis on the field. It's like, bro,
He's a
he's
great
been at this
blocker.
for a while. I think he knows what he's doing, and I think there's a valid reasons why Ennis is on the field. Graham is going to get his time. He's going to get his time. It doesn't appear that it's going to be this year. So,
I mean, if you look at it, Brandon Ennis has been waiting his turn for
yep,
like
he's selfless.
2 years,
He's a
man.
captain. He
And
deserves
again,
that playing
like
time.
we need physical wide receivers out there on the perimeter when we run wide receiver screens or runs to
Yep.
the outside, dude. We never used to have the. I mean, dude, as much as I love Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, they weren't that physical blockers who would put their bodies
No,
on the line, dude.
they're more finesse receivers for sure.
And Marvin Harrison Jr., great receivers, but didn't wasn't really getting involved in the blocking
That
scheme.
was his big critique for sure. There's no question. Yeah, I've seen that online today, that discourse as well. People are definitely coming for Ennis's job, and it's like, dude, he's a captain. Leave him alone. Chill. Brian Hartline knows what he's doing. Defensively, man, we had only allowed 28 yards at the first half break, three first downs, and three total points entering the locker room. Then, of course, the big mishap, the big play, beating Styles up the seam route. Just didn't know the ball was in the air, and then he like ran with him for like 20, 30 yards for some reason, couldn't bring him down, was had his hands on him but couldn't bring him to the ground. McLean has a little bit of problem in that too. He was in the vicinity, and he looked a little lost on that play as well. He eventually tracked him down, but it was too late as he reached the end zone. So really only one mishap, but Arvell Reese continues to eat, man,
I was
and
just thinking about
he's a
him.
lot of fun to watch, bro. Like he's gonna disrupt game times or game plans consistently this year, and I think it's unfortunate. We're gonna have to come to grips with the reality that we're only going to see him as one year starter at Ohio State, unfortunately, because unless he just miraculously decides to return, I think he's a guaranteed first rounder if he leaves. So
Yeah, man. I mean, dude,
let's enjoy him while he's here.
I'm thinking about last season. I mean, we had Sonny Styles and Cody Simon. I honestly
Sure.
think Arvell Reese was he should have got more reps last season.
But I mean, possibly. Yeah, I think I
Possibly,
would
yeah.
have. I would have put him in place of Styles. I think Simon was pretty impressive, but I think
Yes.
Styles had some mishaps here and there throughout the season last
Yes.
year. So
Styles looks more like a more polished from last year, more just being
yep,
able to digest plays faster and fill the holes a lot quicker. I mean, if you look at it,
yep,
dude, he went from playing safety to linebacker, and that just like shows you just quite the athlete that he is, and that's an
yeah,
accomplishment with himself. But this year, he looks like he's more, comfortable in the role and just natural with it. But
sure,
Arvo Reese, man, just disrupting play after play.
yep,
He's just so great at being able to trick defenses and then going back into that. I mean, trick offenses, being able to go back in that QB spiral and just get after it, dude. He's done the
yep,
head his head on a acting like his head is on a swivel. Looks gets the offensive lineman stop keying into him, and then once he notices that he just goes for it, man. It's
yeah.
it's
Like a
genius.
madman coming after the quarterback.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun to watch him blitz, man. And
but
I think go ahead.
but other than you talked about that play in the beginning where
Yeah,
Lorenzo just Styles just lost the ball and lost track and just didn't. To me, dude, that's like a once in a thing for me. That was a freak play, man. He was
yeah.
going he had his eye in the ball and not really and just lost track of it and was like, okay, there's no way that the receiver has it. And all of a sudden, he lost him, notices the ball is and then just like it's too late, man. I feel like that's just like a freak play. It
It
happens
was.
that time. You win some, you lose some. It's not like he got mossed or just completely burned.
No. And he had good coverage on the play. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. Like he was right there with him, step for step. He just didn't finish the play. So I'm with you. I'm not too concerned about that moving forward, about him as our nickel cornerback. I know there's a lot of people clamoring for Devin Sanchez to step into the role, but he's already getting a lot of playing time as a freshman, and he's going
Yeah.
to be a stud. So he'll have his time to shine as well. But
Did
uh,
did you see at the end of the game during, Carmen, Ohio, where Devin Sanchez and Bo Jackson were standing side by side, dude? I think those 2 are like the future, man.
blood brothers.
Yeah, man. I think they'll be team captains one day. They won't
They're, I mean, they're obviously already showing out as freshmen. Urban Meyer's quote always kind of pops into my head. Is like, if they're gonna bite, they're gonna bite as young pups, and that's what Sanchez and Bo Jackson are already doing as true freshmen, making plays on the field in their first 3 games in Buckeye uniforms, and that's special to see. Um, I did predict we both predicted Ohio would score the most points of any team so far, and technically they did because they scored 9 points, but still haven't allowed double digits points yet. Washington may break into that as we enter Big Ten play, but this defense continues to be exotic. They continue to get home. Caden Curry was big last night. Kenyatta Jackson unfortunately had his touchdown taken away. It was the correct call, but it still stinks. I love seeing big man touchdowns. Um, and yeah, man, this defense continues to hum. Matt Patricia seems to have everything kind of figured out. Obviously, competition is going to step up as we enter Big Ten play, but we might. I mean, right now we're one of the top 3 defenses in points allowed per game with the shutout, 7 points versus Texas, and of course 9 versus Ohio. Towards the end of the season, man, I imagine we'll still be top 5 at least, if not the number 1 defense per points allowed per game. So
So,
no complaints from Patricia so far.
yeah, question, and
Yeah.
I'll give you my take, and then you can answer it. So,
Sure, sure.
watching the defense last night and
Mhm.
seeing that, for the first time, other than Arch, in terms of Navarro,
Yeah,
he's more of a veteran. He is a
yeah,
runner. Do
yeah.
you think that the defense got a little exposed on QBs being able to run on the outside? Because I think a little bit, but then Patricia made the adjustments, and we didn't
Yeah.
see any of Navarro being able to get on the outside. It is, it just completely shut that down. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they seem to adjust and take it away, man. Obviously, that was a concern of mine coming in. I didn't say this on the video, but I predicted him to get at least 50 yards rushing, and he didn't reach that tally. So that was huge. Obviously, he had the injury, but he came back in. Running quarterbacks are just hard to stop in general, and Patricia seemed to make the right calculations, the right move, whether it was bring Downs to spy or Reese to spy or some other players as well, and they seem to kind of just take that away. So that was encouraging to see. We're going to have another one, Damon Williams, in 2 weeks. He can scramble. He's really fast. So we're going to see if Patricia is up to the task. That's always the hardest thing in football, I feel like, is to stop a dual threat quarterback. And
Yeah.
Patricia's going to have that challenge again in another 2 weeks.
I mean, like, I like he can make the in-game adjustments, dude.
Yeah.
He's able to see what's going on real time, be able to, be
Analyze it.
proactive about it
Yep.
and just make the
It,
proper adjustments. That is huge, especially when you're in big games.
no kidding, man. Because we're gonna see. We finally see Bryce Underwood get running, and we're gonna face him at the end of the year. There's a couple Altmaier can extend plays with his legs as well. He's very mobile. So we're going to face many more mobile quarterbacks moving forward. And then his ability to adjust and adapt is proven awesome so far. And so I'm really enthused with what I see from Patricia. I'm having to eat some crow, man, because I was questioning the hire. I was questioning the hire and wondering if it would work. But our players seem to love him, man, and so far we haven't skipped a beat, man. We haven't skipped a beat with Knowles leaving. So I'm impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed. Overall, man, entering the bye week, what do you kind of want to see working on? We talked about some things earlier. Obviously, the run game for me is what I want to see improved on when we face Washington on the road in Seattle in 2 weeks. But how about yourself? What do you want to see worked on? Obviously, no injuries, but just get healthy and everything. But
I'd say work on the goal line offense.
sure,
That that's
sure,
that
goal line
that,
red
that
zone
that's
offense.
that's one thing that they have to find their
Yeah.
red zone targets. They got to find a way to just get the run game established when you're on those short line situations.
Yep.
And they just Brian Hartline. He's got to find those plays, man. Design them to the player's strengths. So that's basically what's got to happen.
Yeah. It's a bunch of film studying going on at bye weeks and resting up. But yeah, a lot of room for growth despite starting the season 3-0. Off to a good start. We're gonna miss Buckeye football next week and then plenty to feast on in the world of college football. So excited for next weekend as well in this game's week of action. But that's it for this one. Go Bucks and God bless. We will see you on the next one.
OH.
IO.